is to speak in the public about the problems. And therefore, your technique is quite right.
Right.
Except in
then I'm just thanking you for the introduction.
Yes.
Now, I'd like to talk about this for a second to you.
Yeah, surely we can speak more.
And say that, yes, to a certain degree, we've gotten to this point, which is a crisis situation, as is every other point, if we were living on that point, through materialism. But my idea is that through materialism, it is possible to have a sociology, it is possible to have a ethnology, it is possible to have a philosophy, it is possible to have art, and all of those separate things are good because they allow the individual to operate.
But this is a question for me. Because we have now to look for the situation in the rule, yes. We have very long time this kind of science, this idea of science. You know, this idea of science is materialistic science.
Yeah.
And we have very long this period of the materialistic thinking about the things. And parallel to this kind of science, you find in the organizing of the society special structures. Established at first after the French Revolution. After the French revolutionists could not establish the ideas of freedom, equality and brotherhood in a right relation, and they had no more the ability to work, how to work with these ideals at first, and then they realized only the own interest of the citizens class or the burghers class, or what you say, yes. And then it becomes more and more reduced to the weapon for the burghers only. And then it's the fact too. You have not only to look for the special science, for medicine, psychology, ethnology, anthropology. You have to ask, was this structure of thinking about the thing able to have the effect of a therapy for the whole? Because what has psychology for meaning, when not for healing the problems in the world? Yes. Yes. Yes.
No, it's not. It's not the function of any discipline to solve the problems of the world. Because you can't know the problems of the world, you can only know your problems.
Yes, I see now you have the position of the specialist. And you say a special science has not the possibility to find solutions for the problems in the world. Exactly, you say, the medicine as a kind of science has not the ability to heal the illness in the world. Beginning with the illness in a special state on the individual first. Yes? You say the science is not able to find solutions for the problems in the world. That is logically the result of your thinking. You say, I say it once more, science is not able to find solutions for the society. But what means society in an elementary way? Then all living beings together. As a society besteht aus, was heißt besteht aus? Consists of a lot of a big quantity of individuals. Yes?
Right.
Not the other thing is the society. And when the individual thinks, or special groups are in a bad state, or there is in the structure an illness in the structure, you have to look for means for healing the situation. Beginning for an individual person, for a group, for instance for a whole country, yes? And all these things. That is, for me, that is a duty for science. Otherwise, for what is science?
It's what scientists do.
What? What do scientists?
Science is what scientists do.
Yeah, surely.
No, but wait. It's not that easy. What I'm saying, what I'm trying to ask you, what I was a minute ago, was what problem is there that science hasn't solved? And I'm trying to make that question last through time. There's a great many problems that science hasn't solved now. But what problem, from the beginning of society, or from whenever you want to go back, has science not solved?
No.
Or art, or whatever.
Yes. Perhaps there is, it is not really clear, it becomes not really clear that I'm personally, thinking in this way of thinking about the things, a great admirer of the science humanly. But at the same time, I see the effectivity of this kind of science. I admire it, because I feel, I as a being, I can only be in this situation to think about the things in a new way, because I'm trained on this kind of science. Because the whole evolution needs this materialism to come to a special point of consciousness. But now we have to ask, having not to begin with a new kind of science. To the same time as a parallel process, you know,
behind a man.
Right, that's
as a parallel process to this well-known kind of science. Never criticized among this, never criticized, only in this way characterized as perhaps not able to find solutions for the next stages in the evolution. Only this is my problem, and only this is my diagram, and only this is my question. And I ask the other people, is my thinking the right thinking, or is it bad? It is true, or it is false? Yes? I perhaps have nothing else than the courage to speak about my thinking, because I find it very necessary that as much as possible people speak in the public about what they think about the things. And when it is an erroneous result, the neighbor can correct, yes, you can correct me, other people can correct me, and we can do the things together in a better way than every single person alone. Only this is my elementary interest as the people begins to speak about the problems. At first it is not for me a discussion to have a struggle what science is, what materialistic science is, what perhaps another kind of science could be, and all these things. I will only show special impulses, what I mean, point in the right direction. Only this is my first interest, yes? And then I'm very interested to speak about these problems my whole life, yes? My whole life. And I will come every time, in every period, to another result, and perhaps to another effectivity. And perhaps I can become exchanged from another person who can, in a special field, the things do better than me, yes? Only this is my interest, yes? Perhaps now you understand the problem better, what I mean. But perhaps you are more interested to come back once more to the idea of positivistic, materialistic, atomistic science, well established during history, during the French Revolution, and this point, yes. And the result in ideology like Marxistic thinking about the things, what for me is not another thing than thinking about the things in a bourgeois kind of thinking, yes. Therefore, for me, thinking of Marx's philosophy is bourgeois thinking about the things, and therefore not able to find solutions for the future. All these attendants.
I agree.
Yes, fine. Yes, now we see there are points we can agree. Yes, and there are other points we disagree, and we have to find other structures together with other people to find the possibility to go. Yes? No other thing is for me interesting.
Mr. Beuys? Holography.
Oh yes, fine. The paperback. The paperback science. Very good. Well, very interesting.
I drank it.
Yeah, very good.
After waiting in the hall for 2 hours.
How many are out there?